The boy woke up in a cold, dark room. He didn't know where he was. The floor was metal, the walls were silver, and strange lights blinked above him. His head hurt. His name was Eli, and he was human. A loud hiss came from the wall. A door slid open, and 4 tall alien girls walked in. Their skin was smooth like glass, and their eyes glowed blue. They wore sharp armor that looked like it could cut steel. One of them laughed. "That's the human?" she said with a smirk. "He looks so weak." Another girl walked closer and poked Eli with her finger. "He's soft. Look at his arms. No strength at all." Eli didn't speak. He looked at them quietly. His eyes scanned everything: the shape of the room, the number of cameras, the way. They moved. The tallest alien girl stepped forward. Her name was Karina, and she was their leader. "He's useless," she said. "But orders are orders. The test begins soon. If he dies, no one will care." The girls turned and left. The door closed. With a loud clank, Eli stood up slowly. His legs shook. He was still dizzy, but his mind was clear. He looked around the room again. In the corner, a red light blinked. Under it, a screen showed a countdown. 0 hours 9 minutes and 58 seconds. 0 hours 9 minutes and 57 seconds. 10 minutes. He didn't know what would happen when the timer reached 0. But he was sure it wouldn't be good. High above the room, behind a giant glass window, the alien girls watched Eli from the control room. "This is going to be fun," one of them said. "Humans panic when they're scared," another added. "Let's see him scream." But Karina was quiet. She stared at the screen. Eli wasn't screaming. He wasn't crying. He was doing something else. "Is he drawing?" She asked. Back in the room, Eli used a sharp piece of metal from the floor to scratch a symbol on the wall. A triangle with a circle inside. It was a signal, a memory from Earth. Then he tore a piece from his shirt and wrapped it around his hand. The timer reached 0 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Suddenly, the wall opened. A loud roar shook the room. A huge beast stepped out, like a lion mixed with a spider. It had 4 glowing red eyes, and its teeth were longer than Eli's fingers. The alien girls cheered. "Let's see him run now." "He won't last 10 seconds, but Eli didn't run. He stood still, eyes fixed on the monster. His breath was calm. He waited. And then moved. He dashed to the left, grabbing a broken pipe. When the creature lunged, he rolled under it. Dust flew in the air. He hit the monster's leg with the pipe, not to hurt it, but to distract it. Then he ran toward the corner of the room where he had seen a broken energy cable earlier. Sparks flew from it. The creature chased him, fast and loud. Eli jumped over. The cable turned and shouted, "Hey, come here!" The beast roared and lunged at him. Eli ducked at the last second. The monster hit the cable hard. A loud shock of electricity ran through its body. It screamed, then collapsed, twitching. Silenced. Eli breathed hard, covered in sweat and dirt. Up in the control room, no one spoke. "Did he just trap it?" one alien asked. "But he's just human," another whispered. Karina stared at the screen, eyes wide. "He didn't fight with power," she said. "He used his brain." The other girls didn't know what to say. In the room, Eli stood over the dead beast. He looked up at the camera. Then he dipped his finger in the creature's blood and finished the symbol on the wall. Triangle, circle. A message, a warning. Later. Karina stood alone in front of that symbol. She touched it gently. "This human ... she whispered, "is not what we expected." From behind, a voice said, "Phase 2 begins tomorrow. Let's see how long he lasts." Karina didn't answer. She just kept looking at the wall, thinking. Something was changing. Start scene. A dark room. A cold voice. A secret plan. The lights were off. Only the hum of machines could be heard. Karina stood alone, watching the video again. The boy, the human, had trapped the creature like a soldier. But no one had trained him. He had no weapons, no armor. Just his brain and strange courage. She paused the screen where he finished the symbol in blood. Triangle. Circle. What does it mean? She whispered. Behind her, a voice spoke. Cold, metallic. Don't waste your time, Karina. He's still just an animal. It was Commander Vex, the head of the alien experiment. Phase 2 starts now, he said. Put the human in the maze. Scene cut. Eli in his cell. Eli sat in silence. His hands were scratched. His shirt was torn. But his eyes were calm. He knew something worse was coming. He could feel it in the walls, in the air. Suddenly, the floor began to move. The room shook. The walls split open, and the ground beneath him dropped fast, like an elevator falling deep into the planet. Then, silence. A loud click. A voice echoed from above. Welcome to Phase 2, human. Survive if you can. The lights turned on. Eli was now in a huge maze. Tall black walls, no ceiling. Strange sounds echoed in the distance. He took one deep breath. Then, he started walking. Scene cut. Control room. The alien girls watched closely. One said, "He looks lost." Another laughed, "He'll cry for help soon." But Karina was quiet. "No, look," she said. "He's not walking randomly. He's marking the corners with chalk from the floor dust. He's mapping it." The others stared. "He's making a path?" Scene. Inside the maze. Eli moved fast but careful. Every turn, he scratched a tiny mark. Triangle. Line. Circle. Left. Right. Right again. He counted the steps. He listened to echoes. He used the wind to tell direction. Then, a growl. From above. A shadow moved across the top of the maze. Something was hunting him. Eli stopped. He didn't run. Instead, he crouched low, picked up a broken pipe again, and rolled it down the next hallway. It made noise, loud noise. The creature jumped down, chasing the sound. Eli ran the other way. Trap? Not yet. But he was thinking ahead. Scene cut. Back to control room. "Why doesn't he fight?" one alien girl asked. "Because," Karina said, "he knows he's outmatched. So he's making the maze work for him." Commander Vex scowled. "This test ends now. Release the drones." Scene. Maze turns deadly. Suddenly, 3 flying attack drones enter the maze. They scan for movement. Their lasers charge up. Eli sees them from far. He dives behind a wall. The corner is narrow, not good for hiding. His eyes scan quickly. A panel, slightly loose. He pulls it. Wires. He rips one red, one green. Sparks fly. He wraps them around a metal pole and throws it across the hall. Boom! The pole explodes, hitting the drone. It falls, burning. The other 2 rush toward the noise. Eli crawls through the smoke, silent. After 20 minutes, the drones are down. The creature is lost in a trap. The maze is mapped. And Eli reaches the center. He finds a raised platform with a screen. "End of Phase 2, it says. He stands there, breathing slowly. The camera above zooms in on his face. He smiles just a little, then raises his hand and shows the alien audience his middle finger. Control room, total silence. One alien gasps. Another says, "What does that mean?" Karina didn't speak, but inside, for the first time in her life, she laughed. The room was silent. Only the blue light from the screens lit the alien officers' faces. Footage of Eli's survival from the maze played on a loop. His moves were fast, smart, and unpredictable. The final moment, when he showed his middle finger to the camera, Paused on the main screen. Commander Vex stood in front of everyone. This is not strategy, he said coldly. This is luck. Human tricks. Karina stepped forward. Her tone was calm, but sharp. No, Commander. This is intelligence. You just don't understand how humans fight. The others stared at her. She didn't care. Observe him, she said. No more games. Just watch. Scene cut. Observation room. 12 hours later. Eli now had his own space. It wasn't a cell anymore. It was still locked, still metal, but it had tools, screens, and food. Karina watched him through the glass wall. The other girls watched too at first, laughing, but the laughter faded. Eli wasn't eating. He was drawing again. He used crushed food powder to sketch symbols on the wall, earth, stars, explosions, and ships. It looked like a war, but also something more. One girl tilted her head. What's he doing? She asked. Karina whispered, he's telling a story. Scene. Interview room. Karina entered Eli's space alone. No weapons. No armor. Just curiosity. Eli looked up at her. His face was calm. Tired but calm. You finally came to talk, he said. She sat across from him. A small translator device blinked between them. What is this? She asked, pointing to the symbols on the wall. It's history, Eli said. Yours? Ours, he corrected. Earth's. Karina looked confused. This? She pointed to one image. A mushroom-shaped cloud rising into the sky. Nuclear war, Eli said. Humans almost ended themselves, twice. Karina's eyes narrowed. And you're proud of this? No, Eli said softly. But we survived it. We rebuilt. We learned. That's what humans do. Scene cut. Flashback-style montage. Eli speaking over it. We fight not because we are the strongest, but because we must survive. We lose. We bleed. But we adapt. That's our power. Images flicker across alien screens. Humans in trenches. A scientist launching a rocket. Children building robots from junk. An old woman teaching coding in a desert. A soldier jumping in front of a bomb to save strangers. Back in real time. Karina looked at him closely now. Not like an animal, but like something she didn't understand yet. You're not like the others, she said. Eli smirked. You haven't met others, he leaned forward. Why do you call us weak? Karina didn't answer. So he continued. Your kind is born strong, smart, trained in war from birth. He pointed to himself. We're born fragile, hungry, poor, confused, but still. We rise. That word hit something in her. Rise. Something her people never needed to do, because they were always at the top. Until now. Scene cut. Karina's private log entry. Day 14. The human continues to surprise me. He doesn't fear death. He doesn't beg. He observes, learns, adapts. I think we may have made a mistake bringing him here. She closed the log. On the screen, Eli was now building something small, a strange model, maybe a tool. Commander Vex's office. Vex stared at the footage in silence. He's influencing her, one officer said. He's dangerous. Enough. Vex growled. End this experiment. But sir, Karina, I said, terminate the human. Opening scene. A quiet alarm at exactly 3 o'clock ship time. A red light blinked once in the lower levels of the alien cruiser. No sirens, no sound. Just a quiet alarm, unnoticed by most, but one person noticed. Karina opened her eyes. Something was wrong. Scene. Cut. Eli's room, lights off. Eli stood in darkness. He wasn't sleeping. He hadn't slept for days. In the far corner of his room, under a loose floor panel, something was glowing. A hidden device. Half finished? A mess of wires? Broken alien tech? and a tiny memory chip from Earth, the only thing he had when he was taken. He connected 2 wires. The light blinked twice and stayed on. It worked. Scene, flashback, 2 days earlier. Eli watched the security bots. Every 8 minutes, one passed by his door. He saw the wall panel flicker once, a power weakness. He smiled. Old ship. Lazy. Engineers. He started collecting pieces. A loose wire from his bed frame. A lens from the camera. A sharp chip he pulled from a control pad during an interview. Every day pretending to be bored. But building something. Scene cut. Control room. Commander Vex barked orders. The human is getting too comfortable. Increase guard drones. No more conversations. No more visits. But Karina didn't respond. She was watching Eli's wall drawings again. There was a new one. A bridge between 2 worlds. One side had Earth, the other a broken crown. She stared. What was he trying to say? Scene. Secret meeting. Karina entered Eli's room with fake orders in hand. Cameras watched her, but they wouldn't hear. She had cut the audio feed using a trick she learned as a child. Eli looked up from his floor. You came back, he said. You're building something, she said. Eli didn't lie. I'm sending a signal. Karina narrowed her eyes. To who? To Earth, he said calmly. To my people. Karina stepped closer. Why? They can't help. You here. Eli stood up. I don't need help escaping, he said. I need help stopping you. Scene cut. Flashback overlay. Eli's voiceover. You think I'm just one human. But we don't fight alone. One message is all it takes. When they hear my voice, they'll come, not with power, but with purpose. Back in real time, Karina stared at him. Why are you doing this? Eli looked at her, not angry, just tired. Because if I don't, your people will take more of us, use us, kill us. You think you're the top of the galaxy, but you forgot. The one rule of nature. He leaned close. The most dangerous creature is the one with nothing to lose. Scene. Commander's orders. Commander Vex slammed his fist on the table. I said terminate him. Airlock purge. Do it now. But the system beeped. Error, manual override in effect. What? Who overrode the command? A voice came from behind. Karina. I did. Scene. Karina stands. She faced the room of officers. All eyes on her. You brought him here to laugh at him. To test him. To break him. She pointed at the screen, where Eli now stood calmly, facing the camera again. He didn't break. We did. Commander Vex snarled. You betrayed your kind. For a weak animal. Karina answered with one line. He's not weak. He's human. Back in his room, Eli connected the final wire. The signal burst out, silent, invisible, fast. Across space, a tiny pulse moved like a whisper through the stars. In a forgotten corner of the galaxy. A hidden Earth ship received it. The screen blinked. Signal confirmed. Human alive. Prepare rescue. Opening scene. A choice in the shadows. A silent alarm blinked deep inside the alien ship. Not red. Not loud. Just one soft purple light, the color used when an officer goes rogue. Karina stood alone in the engine tunnels, her eyes fixed on the signal panel. Her hand was still shaking. Her heart beat faster than ever before. She had done the unthinkable. She had just saved a human from her own people, and now the ship was hunting both of them. Scene cut. Eli's escape. Eli ran down a dark corridor. Boots echoing on steel. His small bag bounced on his back. It held only 3 things. The signal device. The Earth chip. A wire with a sharp edge tied to his wrist. Behind him, metal doors began to close one by one. Locked down. Unauthorized movement in Sector 6, said the ship AI. Eli didn't panic. He slid under one door just before it slammed shut. He whispered, "Close call." Then he smiled. Just a little. Scene. Flashback. Karina's breaking point. I followed every order. Karina had once told herself, I never questioned the high bloods. I trained. I killed. I obeyed. But then Eli came, and now all she could think about were his words. Your kind was born perfect. Mine had to fight for everything. She had seen something no one else had. A human who refused to break, and that scared her, because she no longer knew which side she was on. Scene. Control room. Chaos. Commander Vex roared at his officers. Karina has gone rogue. The human is loose. This is a contamination of rank. 1. Officer whispered, should we send in the elites? No, Vex growled. Send in the execution squad. No more games. Scene. In the lower ship. Eli reached an old docking bay. Dusty. Half forgotten. One small alien scout ship stood in the center. Karina arrived moments later, breathless. You found it, she said. You led me here, Eli replied. She handed him a chip. This will unlock the flight system. After that, you're on your own. Eli looked at her. Come with me? Karina shook her head. If I leave now, they'll chase Earth. I stay, I slow them down. Eli hesitated. I'm not your enemy, he said. Karina smiled, the first real smile she ever made. I know. They turned when they heard a sound. Metal boots. The execution squad had arrived. Scene. The fight begins. Squad had 6 armored soldiers. Huge, silent, deadly. Karina stepped forward. You want the human? She said. You'll have to go through me. They raised their weapons. Eli grabbed a tool from the ship wall, not a weapon, but something sharp enough to cut a line. Let's dance. He muttered. Action sequence, told simply and visually. Karina moves like lightning, dodging lasers, striking weak points. Eli uses the environment, drops a door, breaks a panel to spark wires, blinds one soldier. One squad member falls into a power pit. Another is knocked out by a gas leak. It's chaos. Grit versus perfection. Eli takes a hit to the shoulder. Hard but not deadly. Karina looks back. Can you fly the ship? Eli, gritting his teeth. We're about to find out. Final moments. Karina throws him the key chip. Go! Eli gets in the cockpit. The ship shakes to life. Karina turns to fight one last squad member, even knowing she may not survive. As the docking bay door opens, vacuum wind roars in. Eli looks at her one last time as the ship lifts. Thank you, he says. Karina doesn't speak. She just nods, like a soldier giving permission. Eli's stolen ship races into the stars. Sparks flying from its engine. Behind him, alarms blare across the alien mothership, and far ahead, a signal beacon blinks from the dark. Human response ship. Signal received. Approaching target zone. Eli closes his eyes and whispers, I'm not alone. Opening scene. The black silence of space for 10 long seconds. There was silence. Eli's stolen ship floated in the dark between stars. No lights, no sound. Just cold space. His shoulder was bleeding. His hands were shaking, but his eyes were locked on the screen. Signal sent. Awaiting response. Nothing. He waited. Then, beep. Response signal detected. Origin. Earth Command, Outer Recon Fleet. Eli sat up straight. His heart pounded. They heard him. Earth heard him. Scene. Alien command ship in panic inside the alien mothership. Chaos had begun. The execution squad had failed. The docking bay was burning. Karina had disappeared. Commander Vex stood before the bridge crew, rage twisting his face. Find that ship. Destroy it before it reaches backup. An officer pointed at the star map. Sir, incoming signals, multiple. Commander Vex narrowed his eyes. Then the screen filled with dots. 10, 20, 36 unknown vessels. All moving fast. Scene. Earth's arrival. At first, they looked like junk. Small, blocky human ships, some covered in rust. Some half-painted, not shiny. Not smooth like the alien cruisers, but they moved like hornets, fast, sharp, with purpose. One alien officer scoffed. These ships look primitive. Another whispered, then why are our systems failing? Suddenly, alarms. Main radar jammed. Communication interference. Weapons offline. They didn't understand it yet, but Eli did. That's Earth style. He muttered. We don't come with pretty lights. We come to win. Scene. Inside the human flagship, Captain Reyes of Earth Recon stood tall. Eyes locked on the alien ship in the distance. Visual confirmed. Human escapee alive. Her second-in-command asked, should we engage? Reyes smiled coldly. They thought they could take one of ours and walk away. She leaned forward. Light them up. Scene. Space battle begins. The alien mothership. Fired first, massive beams of plasma. But Earth ships scattered like dust in the wind. 3 human ships dove under the blasts. One flipped upside down and launched EMP charges. The alien systems crashed. Inside the bridge, Commander Vex screamed, they're jamming everything. How? Karina, watching from a hidden access point, whispered to herself, because they fight with chaos, not with rules. Scene. Eli's ship joins the fight. Eli grabbed the controls. The ship was shaking. Alarms flashed. He laughed to himself. First time flying alien tech. What could go wrong? He dove toward the battlefield. Human ships moved around him like a shield. A voice came through the comm. Unidentified pilot, this is Earth Recon. Is your name Eli Winters? He smiled. Yeah, and I've got some friends that don't like aliens much. Scene. The turning point. Human ships work together like one mind. No single leader. No flawless tech. Just instinct. Speed. Strategy. They tore through the alien defenses with hacked signals, dirty tricks, and bold maneuvers. One alien ship exploded in the distance. Inside the control room, the alien officers were speechless. We're losing. Commander Vex stood frozen. How can they be winning? He whispered. Scene. Karina's message from a hidden console. Karina sent one last message to Eli's ship. They won't stop, Eli. Even if you escape, they'll chase Earth. Warn them. Get ready. Eli replied, breathless. You should come with me. It's not too late. Her reply came after a pause. No, my fight is here now. The signal. Cut. Eli stared at the screen, then powered his ship forward. Earth flagship Captain Reyes looked at the battle map. Alien fleet retreating. Human ships regrouping. One signal coming in. Eli's ship. She opened the comm. Welcome home, soldier. Eli looked out at the human fleet, still fighting, still standing. He whispered, they thought we were weak. But Earth just answered. Opening scene. A cracked crown. The alien homeworld was waking up. Across the capital, giant sky screens flashed. An emergency broadcast. Earth forces have entered orbit. Fleet 9 is retreating. Unknown disruption in command hierarchy. The High Bloods, rulers of the alien empire, sat silent around their black stone table. One of them whispered, how can this be happening? They were human. Another muttered, no, they were wronged, and now they're awake. Scene. Eli steps onto the Earth flagship. The doors opened with a soft hiss. Eli walked into the Earth flagship bridge. Limping slightly, his shoulder wrapped in rough bandages. Captain. Reyes stood waiting. She didn't salute. She nodded. You're the reason they called us back from the edge. Eli looked around. Human officers, fighters, engineers. No gold armor, no glowing eyes. Just grit. He smiled. I didn't call heroes. I called family. Scene. Alien mothership. Karina's final stand far behind enemy lines. Karina stood in the burning corridor of the alien. Command center. She had disabled the control core. Alone. She could barely walk. Commander Vex stumbled toward her, one eye bleeding, weapon in hand. You betrayed us. For a human, Karina didn't flinch. I didn't betray anyone. I remembered who I was before they trained it out of me. She stepped aside. Behind her, one last hidden pod blinked out a memory drive. Every experiment. Every human taken. Every secret. She had sent it all to Earth. Too late now. She whispered. Scene. Back on Earthship, the reveal captain. Reyes plugged in the drive. Screens lit up with horrible images. Human captives. Testing labs. Alien scientists laughing. At screams. Silence filled the bridge. Reyes turned to Eli. Now we know what they did. Eli didn't speak. He just stared at the screen showing Karina her last message recorded. I was raised to conquer, but I learned to listen. I was taught to be perfect, but I learned to be human. I hope that's enough. Scene. Earth responds 1 hour later. Earth's message went out to the stars. This is Earth. We don't want war. But if you come for us again, we won't run. We won't bow. We will stand. Together. Across the galaxy, species who once laughed at humans began to pay attention. Some nodded. Some feared, but all of them listened. Scene. Quiet moment. Eli alone. Eli sat in the ship's observation deck. Stars drifted by like fireflies. He looked out at the black sky. At the distance. At what was coming next. He pulled the Earth chip from his pocket. Just a memory card. But it had started everything. From behind, Reyes spoke. You could have stayed quiet. You didn't, Eli replied. I was never trying to be a hero. Reyes smiled. No, you were trying to be human. That's why you won. The galaxy changes. In the next months, the alien empire began to fall. Karina was never found. But legends grew of a human who shocked the stars. Of an alien who chose change, of a symbol drawn in blood. Triangle, circle, unity.